Okay, so there's Marsden's Law Group, which I happen to have been a part of for about 30 years now. We started in 1968, so Tommy, we're through the marathon 42-year point, and we're in the ultra-marathon zone, 56 years and counting, which gets us up to about 70 lawyers now. The growth has been gradual, nothing too radical about it. It's just been a matter of incremental growth over the period. It's a partnership, that's the structure, which means that we're a bunch of about 20 partners now. And what has happened is as the business has grown, it's split into more and more divisions. So we've created departments and then departments within departments. Mine is family law. I've got 4 partners in family law. We represent about 20% of the total business. Well, what is our latest department? If you see that likely looking fellow on the end, the redhead, he's your current Law Society president and my guest today. Very honoured to have Brett with us, and he is our latest partner in charge of our newest department, which is mediation. So I'm going to say a few things about Brett. It's not a roast. Not at all. But Brett, I'd like you to come up here because the presentation today is going to really be about mediation and about the new department, which is, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, a kind of a split off from family law. So we're going to need to find you a microphone, Brett. I'll give you, okay, thank you, Eden. And okay, you be on that side. I'll be over here. So Brett, how did you first come across me?
When Tom divorced my mother. Not himself, he acted for my mother.
That's right. I'm not Brett's... Yeah, he's not my bastard child. But I did divorce his mum. Yeah, that was a few years ago. But after that, Brett then became a lawyer at Marsden's, a criminal lawyer. Why the hell did you go into criminal law?
It was where the first clerkship was. So Marsden's, what it often does with junior lawyers is it cycles them through different areas of law when doing your professional legal training. So before you become a lawyer, you do a few months in a department. So criminal law is where I first started off. And then after that, didn't really like criminal law. I had a lot of respect for criminal lawyers, but I didn't like the idea of having to mop up people's messes and try and work out what happened afterwards. Not only did family law have a great morning tea, that was also an incentive, but a great sense of collegiality is what I saw there, but also that you can try and resolve problems and fix them and help build an outcome. That's what really attracted me to family law, Tom.
Good answer. I won't make that joke. All right, so Brett came on, he saw the light, migrated to family law, worked with my partner Naveen Yusuf, and went up through the ranks, became a senior associate, and then left us, went to work at a national firm before finding his last but one gig, which was within the family court. And Brett there was a superstar. He became a senior judicial registrar, very important position, and was head of the mediation, National Mediation and Arbitration, what I'll call desk, which meant that he had a big role in teaching other registrars and court staff about mediation, conducting mediations, and really integrating himself in that part of the court's process, which is a critical part of the family court process. And what we're going to just remark upon before we move south into mediation and talk to Brett a bit more about that, because that is the new part of the business that I want to explain to you, is to segue to where Brett is immediately, which is the Law Society president. You'll see the photograph. That's not Marsden's offices. And Brett is currently finishing his term there. And when would you wind up there, Brett?
So I wind up on the 31st of December, and it's a great privilege to be the Law Society president. To give you some background, out of the over 100,000 lawyers in the whole of the country, New South Wales has about 42% of them. So we've got 43,000 lawyers here, the vast majority. The Law Society is the regulator, and we also discipline lawyers as well. We also have a membership arm where we have about 29 regions. And I actually started through Marsden's, through their commitment to community. I volunteered as a regional law to that role. So I've travelled across the state. I think I've been to about 23 of the regions, from Broken Hill to Kingscliff to Albury, and engaging with the courts on behalf of the solicitor branch of the profession. We don't represent barristers, but we do represent solicitors. Do you have a question at the back? Or 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Aha, that means, Brett, we need to remember that brevity being the soul of wit. We need to move on and talk about what we're supposed to be talking about, which is mediation. Okay, so what makes you a good mediator, Brett?
What makes me a good mediator is settling the unsettlable, and it's by ensuring that during a confidential setting, getting to the nub of what drives people. We heard in some of the presentation that it's the why. That's also in divorce. People come in thinking that I deserve X, Y, and Z. There's going to be a sense of justice. It's about breaking down those expectations immediately in a confidential space. Firstly, no one is better off when they separate. That's the first one. Children also have no perfect outcome when they have parents who separate as well. So it's a matter of managing those expectations at the outset, and that they'll never be happy with the outcome. That's the critical thing to remember too. And Jeanette, you probably see that through psychology. It's that managing of the expectations. Also, that when they go to court, so Tom's client that's coming in on later today, being through the process, you're not in a justice system. There's no justice in family law. You're in a legal system as well, which means you'll have deadlines and timeframes that are outside of your control. So it's about ensuring that pulling people out of that tunnel vision that they have, that I imagine a judge is going to be the one that will give me the best outcome. A judge is a really blunt instrument. They'll carve your life up with a chainsaw and set the deadlines of when to sell the house, and the market might not be correct. In mediation, it's about opening people's eyes to seeing what the possibilities could be. What's the aim of the game, particularly with financial separation, is to set the foundation for their financial future. Not about getting what they deserve, because they won't be better off in the long run. Ensuring that children have a good outcome, but not a perfect one. So don't let perfect be the enemy of good. So it's giving them a sense of hope and looking at the future beyond that divorce period, or thinking that a judge will give them the outcome they want. Because when you are carving up loss, you're dividing debt, those sort of things, giving people that sense of agency and self-determination in mediation is really critical. And it's far more dignified than having a judge make a determination and then handing it down and you having absolutely no control.
Handing it down to me. Well, far more dignified, far less fun, might say, but mediation is absolutely critical. It's built into the process. One can't step around it, one has to do it. And the great thing about Brett is he makes people agree to things. Doesn't make them, but he gets them to agree to things. Nobody makes anybody do anything in mediation. It's all what can be agreed. But they end up agreeing and feeling good about it. And I have to say that much as I love my job, much as I enjoy what I'm doing, at the end of the road for me, I don't always have clients that feel good about it. And in mediation, they do. And so if you can help assist your contacts, friends, support them in a decision to go towards mediation, that's an excellent choice and a very good piece of advice you're giving them. Thanks very much for listening to us. Thank you.
I love BNI. Dan Bly brought his done last week. Tom brought his this week. All jokes aside, that was a really refreshing